All right. Gotta get on my notes because I've been typing all this shit in my phone. There's a lot. There's a lot we gotta cover here, man. You've been around fucking forever, so it's important that we do this right. You said I got one shot.
Like Eminem.
Yeah, like Eminem. Well, obviously, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this. Detroit hardcore
Oh yeah.
has been around a long time. Fucking long time show goer. You fucking helped build the scene over the years. Obviously in Hate Inc. Done a lot of shit. You've been a part of a lot. Good, bad, ugly, all the fucking above. So you raise that eyebrow, say, yeah, that's fucking right. But thank you again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember when I first heard about like Hate Inc. and CTYC and Cold as Life and shit. That was back in probably 2004, 2005. And the first time I ever seen you guys, I believe, was Agnostic Front and Full Blown Chaos show. Did you guys do that one at Alvin's?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys played that show when Jeff was still in the band before I think he switched over to fucking Ramallah. Or I don't know if you guys did it.
He popped in and out a couple times after that even. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember just like, because I think maybe I seen like Throwdown, like Walls of Jericho at Alvin's, but I never seen Agnostic Front there. I seen them with Hatebreed at Harpo's one time, but I remember.
Yeah, that was a good show. I think Jamie came out and did a song from Hatebreed. Yeah. You said?
Yeah, but I remember just like, so people telling me, they're like, you might be unaware about, C2IC and the Tattoo Boys and shit. So they're like, you see a bunch of guys there, just stay the fuck out of their way. They were like, it's like a myth and like a legend, like you guys. I was like, I'm sure you're aware, people, were like, don't fuck with those guys.
Well, I mean, yeah, we had, had a little bit of an impact, I would think, but
yeah,
I mean, we're just friends, man, and just like a lot of the other cliques and crews.
Yeah.
And, hanging out,
Yeah, and but as a 17-year-old, you guys were in your fucking 30s, but by then I'm sure, or late 20s to mid 30s, as like a young fucking kid, like it can be pretty intimidating for a youngster. But when you get to know those guys, you start coming around more, seems like hanging out like anybody else, fucking minding your business, having a good time, which was refreshing to see, because when people are like, oh, fucking CTYC and the Cold as Life people, like, it's like, what the fuck am I getting into here? But
well, I mean, that's been going on a long time. I mean, since the beginning of hardcore, really. I mean, the cliques, all the friends together, the crews or whatever like that. You know what I mean? People, they stick together, and a long time. Like when I was coming up, it was the same thing. It was like the Sids and the West Side Boot Boys and the Sterling Skins and there was a bunch of different crews and cliques that people were aware of or looking out for or whatever. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying? Plus there was a lot of ego still, probably to this day. I'm not really sure. I don't hang out much anymore, but when you're young and you're out of your mind and you're just trying to have fun and mostly just being young. I mean, you're young and everybody's full of piss and vinegar and has an attitude problem. And, in this kind of music, it's an angry, thing. And, everybody's getting their frustrations out or whatever. And so it was the same thing for me, man. Like when I was a kid coming up, there was, the same thing.
Yeah, I could imagine. And when did you start like going to shows? Were you going to anything before like hardcore and punk shows, or is that just all you knew?
No, the first concert I ever went to in my life, I was a kid. I went to see Bob Seger.
Right fucking on. There you go. Shout out another Detroit.
Yep, Bob Seger.
Yep.
And I think it was, some of my family members took me there. But no, first, show I went to, it was like 1987. It was at Blondie's. It was like Heresy and I'm not exactly sure, All or Descendants.
Holy shit.
Herb Tarlix or something like that. It was a crazy hardcore show, man, at Blondie's. And I said, This is what's up. But I was listening to punk for years before that. You know, I got into it through really through MTV. You know, to be honest, I mean,
the good MTV.
You know, when MTV first started, I seen the very first, you know, broadcast or whatever you want to call it of MTV, and they were playing like some weird new wave shit or whatever, and you know, I was into it. You know what I mean? And they would play the random live like Ramones or something like that, and I was into that punk shit. But what really did it was my aunt. She was really into punk, and she was involved in the scene. She used to go to the NA shows in the early 80s and stuff like that. And when I was a kid, I would go in her room and go through her records, you know. And I seen the Meatmen. I pulled that out. I was like, this is crazy. You know, the Meatmen record had a bunch of funny shit all over it. And I played it, and it was wild and fast, and I was hooked, man. And I told her, you know, I said, hey, can I borrow some of these records? She said, fuck no, you can't borrow none of these records, but I'll make you a tape, you know. And that's what everybody did back in the 80s, you know, made tapes all the time. You know what I'm saying? So she made me a badass tape with everything on it, man. Black Flag, NA, some local Angry Red Planet, local bands, NA, all types of shit was on there, Circle Jerks, whatever, and I wore that thing out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I'm talking like, you know, that was like 82, 83 or something. I had that tape. So I listened to that thing for a few years, man, until eventually the stereo ate it.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. All cassettes had a fucking demise at a certain point, you know?
Yeah.
Shit. So you were listening to that shit in like 82, 83, 84, but you went to Blondie's in 87. Is that,
Yeah.
Did you go by yourself, or was it with your aunt? Is that how you started meeting everybody? You know,
I went with a friend. Actually, I went with a dude named John Szymanski in Detroit. They call him Johnny Hench. He's in the Henchmen.
Okay.
A rock and roll band. He was in a bunch of bands, Paybacks and whatever. And at the time, we were kind of living in the same area, and we were into the BMX freestyle thing. And we were doing the freestyle thing on the BMX a lot, and but we were into music, and he said, "Hey, you know, there's this show, let's go check it out." So we went, and after I went that first time with him, I just started going, you know, randomly after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just from hanging out, you meet people, you know, like, you know, I ended up meeting, you know, Dougie and Ron and Jeff and Roy and those guys and everybody else, really.
Yeah, fuck. Were you living in the city or just outside the city a little bit when you started going to shows?
When I started going, no, I wasn't living. I was living deep on the east side in the suburbs at the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And eventually you found your way over to where the real fucking trouble is, huh?
But I grew up in Detroit. I grew up at 6 Mile.
Oh, no shit. 6 Mile and what?
Gratiot.
Okay, that's not a great area.
And then from there, I went into like the suburbs, and then I ended up moving back into the city. I moved downtown, you know, later when I got older.
Yeah. And were you listening to and what were your parents listening to? If you were living with your parents, what kind of music were they playing in the household back in the day?
Yeah, when I was a kid, Mom's was always listening to the Motown.
Right, something about 60s, 70s, or early 70s.
Yeah, 70s, mid 70s. You know, when I was a kid, she was listening to the Motown stuff a lot. So that was kind of embedded in my musical, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get better than fucking Motown, dude. Like, it's legit good music, you know, to almost anybody.
Motown, a lot of Michael Jackson. Yeah. Mom liked Michael Jackson.
There you go.
All that shit, you know, Anita Baker.
Yeah, it's hard to like Michael Jackson now. He's a fucking weirdo. But once you hear his music, you're
like... he's still got some good music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's hard to...
weirdo, for sure.
For sure, it's hard to separate, you know, the fucking... whatever the fuck from his music. So he's a crazy person, but... he's got good music, so what are you gonna do? Yeah, shit. So when you started hanging out with those guys, Jeff and Roy and Dougie, were you in any bands, or had they already started any bands before you met those guys? Like the Mattress Rats and shit like that? Or was that all before? Like, you met them before they even started that?
No, I met them after. You know, I met them right probably when they changed their name to Cold as Life. I probably seen the Mattress Rats and just don't remember.
Yeah. Fuck.
But you know, it was probably 1990. I think is when I you know, started going to Cold as Life shows. So.
How were the shows then? Were they like Blondies and shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were they
All around, but yeah.
Yeah.
Blondie's was the main spot.
Okay. Was this
You know.
so there was 2 locations at one point, right? Or
For Blondies?
Or did it move? Or was there only one? Do I got this wrong?
For Blondies?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blondies was 7 and like basically Telegraph, and then Roosevelt, who owned it, sold it or whatever to John, who owns the Token now.
Okay.
And John took it over, and then Roosevelt started Todd's on 7 in Van Dyke, or the Marquee.
Okay. Damn, that's like deep in the hood too. 7 of
So
them.
Roosevelt was running that, and John was running the original Blondies. And then as time went on or whatever, Roosevelt lost Todd's and disappeared for a while, and then John, you know, shut down Blondies in like 93, I think it was, or 4, and then was kind of gone for a while, and then he opened up the Token, or started doing the Token, or whatever, bought it, whatever. And then Roosevelt popped up. Shit, man, it must have been 10, 12 years ago or something, maybe longer, and opened up another Blondies on Fort Street.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened there, and it shut down, and he was gone for a while, and now he owns Harpo's.
Well, that's been fucking passed around over the years then, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Harpo's, I mean, for anybody who's going to listen to this, probably mainly local people, but for the outsiders, Harpo's is on the east side of Detroit, and one of the bigger venues. Is probably the only place for Harpo.
It's big, yeah. It's
yeah.
a big place,
yeah. They can hold probably 3,000 people in that fucking place to get them all packed in.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, but the thing is, at Harpo's, is you're pressing your luck by fucking parking your car there. I mean, you know, there's a good chance you might get your shit broke into. You know,
it's a dangerous area, that's for sure.
Yeah,
a lot of craziness happen around that area for sure. It might be a little better now. I don't know, but back in the day, it was bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even in the early 2000s, when I started going there, like, you know, people would give you tips on and going there. Like, you can literally pay a crackhead to hopefully sit there and watch your car if you want. They'll do it, you know. But I've never done it. Like, have a fucking crackhead just sit in front of your car and watch it.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
No, well, I mean, they say they got fucking security there, but they don't watch. You know,
it's been good at times. Yeah. I'd like to believe that Roosevelt's doing a good job there, but I don't really know.
Good intentions. Anyway.
I went there a couple times since Roosevelt's had it, and you know, it seemed okay. It seemed like he had it going on all right.
Who got banned from Harp? I know somebody got fucking banned from Harp. Was it you or was it no? I remember hearing somebody got banned from there. It could have been somebody in one of the younger generations, but I know somebody out there had mentioned on Instagram, like, yeah, I haven't been to Harpo in fucking 20 years because I'm not allowed back, and they've had to miss everything.
I don't know about that. I know a lot of people don't go no more because of, you know, a friend got killed in the parking lot across the street, Steve Crass.
Yeah.
You know, rest in
Feisty
peace.
Cadavers, yeah.
Feisty Cadavers, yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace.
You know, he was leaving. It was a Motorhead show we were at, and I think even Speedball might have been on that gig. But he was leaving with some people, and I don't know, some kid came up, and you know, it didn't go good.
Fuck, man. That's too bad. What year was that?
96.
96. Yeah, I mean, just goes to show that Detroit hasn't fucking changed. You know, it's been almost is it 30 years now, and anything can happen on that corner, you know, over there.
Yeah, you got to be careful anywhere in Detroit, really. I mean,
Yeah, fuck, man.
You know.
Shit, I mean, you used to live down, what, the Cass Corridor area? Is that where you started? You know, when you were living down there as a young man? How was it down there? I heard it was fucked up back in the day. I was reading this article, and it was just explaining, like, how from, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, how the city and the population changed fucking dramatically based on the economy and the automotive business and a lot of shit that was developed here. And as time went on, like jobs had shipped out of state or overseas, and the city had to leave, and it was like a switch in the demographic. And from there's a lot of white, like Polacks and Italians and shit like that who lived in Detroit. Then it switched, I don't know, a lot of southern black folks started moving up, and it just became, I don't know, just a crazy thing when so everybody was poor and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what happened into the city. Everybody lost their jobs, and it was still like a racial segregation then. So it was fucking weird for people who lived there, and just never got better since the economy declined. And
well, Detroit's always been heavily at odds racially.
yeah, just
it's just
truth.
It's just the way it's always been here. I mean, after the riots or whatever in '67, it didn't really make a comeback after that. You know what I mean? So I think that's where a lot of the reputation of Detroit come from, because after the riots, everything got destroyed and everything like that. From there wasn't a big buildup, to fix anything or whatever afterwards, really. So, it was hard times for everybody, man. But I don't know. That's always kind of been there, the racial tension in Detroit. Most everywhere, really, but, some parts more than others. But, but for me, living there, it wasn't, in the cast, it wasn't bad. I mean, you can't be a stranger, you know what I'm saying? You gotta,
know where you are and
mind your P's and Q's and make friends and, be cool and just, but it wasn't really all that bad. I mean, to be honest, it was pretty vacant, when I was there. Now it's kind of a different place, a lot of money has been generated into the city, a lot more buildings, a lot more businesses and housing and stuff like that. A lot more people are moving in. A lot has changed down there, to bring people in and to make it a better city or whatever. So it's kind of working, you know what I'm saying?
Gentrification.
But it's still Detroit.
Shortly. Yeah. It's weird though, because you can still walk like downtown Detroit, and sometimes during fucking business hours, not pass a single person. And it's like I'm in the middle of fucking Detroit and not walked by anybody. But like a lot of the buildings are full. But there was a time where you couldn't even walk down the street because there's so many fucking people. And then certain times of the year, I guess it could be just like fucking nobody's down. It's like a ghost town in the middle of fucking Detroit. You got like campus marshes and shit like that right there. Or you can go down in front of the fucking GM building, and you're like, why is nobody down here? It's beautiful, but
yeah, back in the day, it was like that a lot. You'd be in the city walking around wherever or driving around, and there would be nobody around. A lot of people were hesitant on hanging out.
So you never know what was gonna fucking pop off, and a lot of people thrived in that chaos and shit. Other people who were up to no good, it's and when you think of Detroit in the 80s and 90s, what comes to mind is Devil's Night. Do you have any memories of Devil's Night or anything like back in when he lived in Detroit, like shit, fires? I remember one time there was over 600 fires in one fucking night.
Well, when I first moved into the cast, my apartment, I moved all my shit in, and I don't know, it was getting ready to get dark outside or whatever, and I just moved all my stuff in. I was tired, and I laid down and I passed out. And it was summer, so it was warm out. It was 80-something degrees outside. I pass out. I wake up in a pool of sweat. I'm like sweating like crazy, right? And I look up, and the window had like this orange and red like glow to it, you know? I go, what the hell's going on, man? So I get up and I look, and it was like this abandoned garage or whatever directly behind my building.
Oh, shit.
Was completely engulfed in flames. My first day I was there. So.
The first day, welcome to the Cass Corridor. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that whole thing kind of.
And there was actually an engine house, a fire station, the next street over.
And this never showed up, probably.
Never showed up. And then I had a buddy staying with me. He drove like a Dodge Omni, a little car.
Yeah.
And it broke down or whatever, and he had it in the lot next to the building, just sitting there, you know, for like 3 months, you know, because it wasn't running.
Yeah.
And one day we come out, man, and all the tires are gone. The whole thing's up on blocks.
Oh.
By the way, I got my battery stolen out of my car like 10 different times out of that lot.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Which sucked. But anyways, we were hanging out with some friends. PT, John Hill, lived next door to us in the building next door. And we were on their balcony, and we were having a couple beers. And my boy Squid, rest in peace, that was his car. And he said, let's blow the car up, you know. So him and another dude, they made like a Molotov and threw it through the car and blew it up or whatever. And this thing was engulfed in flames for like 3 hours. And like I said, that fire station was across the street, and they never came and put it out. You know, it had to be like 3-4 hours after it was. When they put it out, it was completely charred, crisp, you know, black.
Yeah, fuck, that's
overdone.
So. Well, you know, once it's broke down for so long and it's got nothing on it, gives a fuck. Might as well have a little fun.
But it was pretty funny.
You know, especially in the area, you know, you can, at a certain time, you can just fucking do whatever you wanted. I remember, even in the early 2000s, I was more in a Southwest area, but, you know, just in any major city. Like, I remember going down to, like, the fucking street races and shit, and just everybody, there were 40, 50 cars, all the fucking cool cars with the lights and the engines, and just hundreds of people fucking lined up along the fucking street and just watching drag races and fucking drinking beer and doing blow, whatever the fuck you wanted, acting crazy. Like, Detroit was fucking wild. I'm sure that's still happening. It has to still be happening today. I'm sure there was a race last night, you know, but whatever. I guess you just fall out of that fucking wild life, huh?
I mean, some people do it like, you know, Enzo does them races or whatever, I think, at Milan. And...
Yeah, he's on a track. You know, I'm talking about people down fucking, you know, McGraw and fucking Wagner and Livernois and shit, you know? That's,
I work with a guy that drags cars all the time.
That's cool. I don't know a lot about cars,
but... tracks, and he, like, does it for, you know, makes money and shit.
Yeah.
Legitimately doing it.
Legitimately. Yeah, I mean, some people do it as a hobby, like Enzo. He loves cars. He loves working on cars and all that
Shout out to Enzo. Dogs of War.
Yeah, yeah. You can hear all their new shit. It's everywhere, and you can buy their CD as well. Don't want to forget to drop that.
That's good stuff, too. It's good music, man.
It is. I'm glad they, you know, put something together. He's talked about it for years and finally came to fruition, and I'm glad it did. Hopefully they'll be having a show eventually. You know, like an album release show. That'd be...
I was a little disappointed, actually. If you're listening, bro, there's a lot of music, I think, that probably should have been on there, because I got some discs that he gave me a long time ago, man, with a bunch of different stuff on it, man. So I'm sure they have enough music to make another disc, another record, you know, or whatever that hasn't been released, you know.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Is there any unreleased any Hate Inc. out there that hasn't?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we recorded with me and Enzo and Jesse and Jake. We recorded like an EP's worth of music that I never put out that I would like to put out. I really want to do that. It's pretty good, man. Yeah, and I want to release the records, Clockwork and Fraternal. I want to put those out on vinyl.
So anybody who hears this And,
Yeah.
yeah.
If
Don't
anybody
all
wants
jump
to
at
help
one
me release
time,
it.
but that would be fucking awesome to have.
Otherwise, I'm just going to do it on my own. But yeah, I want to put those out. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, which is one of the main reasons why, I'm here, is because I wanted to promote that I'm going to be putting out merch, some shirts, and I want to put out those records. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So, I came into shout out to Craig Holloway, man. He called me up and he said, I got these other records I didn't know I had for the Life of Pain vinyls. He sent them over to me, man, and I still got a few of those. I'm going to do another variant cover. It's going to be the original CD cover, and I'm going to have a lot of extras in there of the original lineup that recorded that Life of Pain music, which was me and Jeff G. and Emery, Fat Emery War.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. And William Hart. So we're going to, I'm going to put a bunch of pictures and stuff in there, extras, like a fold-out thing, and have there's only like 60 of them. So it's going to be like a rare deal.
Very cool, man. That's fucking awesome. And, Hey Inc. over all the years, you guys put in work as a band. You just got to be honest. You guys did a lot of fucking shows.
Yeah, we were together, I don't know, 15 years or something?
Yeah, so it's whatever you do, it's fucking well-deserved, to put it out. You re-release it. A lot of people, I'm sure, would be interested in having a copy of Fraternal on vinyl,
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I mean, because, a lot of kids, they haven't heard it, a lot of new generation, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially being inactive and not really having any kind of, website or anything like that or whatever, a lot of music, that deserves to be heard, and I tell people all the time that we're in bands and stuff like that, like my brother Justin, shout out to him, and Pitbull, they were a phenomenal hardcore band from Detroit, and not a lot of people have heard them, man. They did some touring, but they didn't do a ton of stuff. It goes with a lot of Detroit bands, man. It really bums me out. Like when I was really active, I still had Hate Inc. going, and I was really active in the scene and whatever. I was always trying to, get bands to put their shit out or do more things or whatever and get heard. I was trying to get SBLC in the studio years ago. Shout out to Red. Yeah, but I was trying to get them in the studio to record everything that they had and do like a discography or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it never happened, man. They never, I don't know why, but I was going to put them in the studio and pay for everything and get it done. But for whatever reason, it didn't get done. But there was a lot of bands, a lot of local Detroit bands that, have not been heard and don't even have music out there. A lot of local bands that were around back in the day.
Fuck. Well, that's a shame because, once you said Pitbull, it's totally underestimated, under promoted over all the years. I know last show they probably played was that fucking Hatebreed one or something back at St. Andrews. I don't know, but that's the only time
I think they've done a handful after that. Okay. But yeah, they weren't around for too much longer after that.
No, what year did they start though? Because it's just
Pitbull.
Yeah, they were around.
Shoot, man, I don't know. I think they started around 1988.
God damn, I was 1 year old, but all that shit translates to fucking today, and there are bands that are 2 weeks old that sound just like fucking Pitbull, just in the genre, it doesn't really change much, and nobody's reinventing fucking hardcore, or the sound. So, but
some good bands out there, man.
Yeah,
that I'm noticing, most of the time it sounds pretty generic and typical, and I overlook it, a lot of stuff. But some stuff's been catching my attention, man. Like Never Ending Game, they're good kids, man. That's good music, and
that is good fucking music, yeah.
And then I see dudes wearing a Hate Inc. shirt who's supporting Hate Inc. and shit like that. So it fired me up, and check out Never Ending Game. Another band, man, that I don't know what's going on with them. I was talking to you about them before. Is that MH Chaos, man? They're real good too.
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, there's never been no official word, but there's been some some inner shit in the band. They haven't done fucking many shows, and they've had a substitute singer for their last couple shows. So, I mean, I don't know the future of that band. I tried to get them here a couple times, and it's just fucking fell through both times.
And again, I'm not, in the know. I'm not on top of everything, as far as music-wise or whatever. But if I hear about something or somebody tells me about something, or I, see something online or whatever, and check it out, like MH Chaos, I know they've been around for a while. Never Ending Game's been doing it for a minute. Stuff like that. And I'm kind of just getting hip to it, you know what I mean? But, I'm older, man. I don't pay too close attention to a lot of shit.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not really involved in the scene and hanging out like I used to all the time, so.
Yeah, well, we're going to change that, Beast. You got to start coming back.
Yeah.
Now, did you ever listen to Freedom when they were around? Freedom, Detroit Hardcore?
No, man. I think I might have went to a show or two.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, dude, they're really fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, probably.
Are they straight edge?
A couple of. Yeah, I think the whole band is fucking straight edge, to be honest. But good music. They sound like I don't know, old school shit.
Yeah.
They're fucking, and their bassist is the singer of Never Ending Game, and the singer of Freedom is
nice. All right.
now the bassist of Never Ending Game, Dennis and fucking Mikey.
Okay.
So yeah,
Right
they
on.
all. I mean, I don't know. I did a podcast with their guitarist who got that band fucking going last week or 2 weeks ago, and he gave me the whole fucking rundown on that band. But they shit, dude, they were really good. Freedom was really fucking good. I bet you liked them if
did they put out, how many records did they put out?
I think 3. They did a
Okay.
did a demo, a 7-inch, and then fucking LP, I think. But it's all really, really good. Straight edge or not, if you listen to it.
How do you get the LP?
Oh, everything's online.
Okay.
I know you can get the 7-inch on the Never Ending Game website still, but that's good. It's fucking never had a choice. But it's a negative approach type, shit, old school. It's fucking really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So I know you ran with all the Cold as Life dudes and CTYC and shit like that all through the 90s. Were you ever in a band before Hate Inc.? I mean, did you ever play in Cold as Life or no? I don't think you did you? I don't know nothing.
No, I never officially played in the band, but there was one time where Jeff was sick or something and didn't show up for a gig. And
I got this. I wanted to ask you about this. That's a good transition.
Yeah. And they kind of forced me to sing the set.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I only sang a few of the jams, but and I was drunk too. I was trying to tell him, hey man, I don't know if I can do it, But it was fun, man. It was cool, So I did that one time. I did help him write a couple of songs, though.
Yeah. Well, because you talk about that time. That was at the Magic Stick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's a video online. I think it's Cold as Life and Friends.
Yep. That's the one.
And yeah, and I know you did a couple songs, and fucking little dude. They call him Seven, but I forgot his real name. Fuck, he's
I think
short Mexican guy. I forgot his name.
I think he was just kind of growling. He wasn't really singing anything.
But yeah,
but I sang some of the actual songs.
They're just drunkenly yelling.
But yeah, but the other dude, I think they were just having them growl over the music because they had some new songs they were.
Oh, okay.
They were doing.
Yeah. No, that's back when the Magic Stick was the fucking Magic Stick. I wasn't there for.
Yeah, it was cool for a while, man. I mean, that was the spot, man.
When did you guys start going there? Like, do you have any idea, or was it already existed before shows started happening?
Oh yeah, that place has been around for a long time, man. Before.
Well, the Majestic, I know for sure, has been around fucking 100 years, probably.
Well, that bowling alley has been there 100 years.
Okay,
for sure.
You're being honest too. 100 years, probably, if not close.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's one of the oldest in America. That bowling alley.
It's got to be. Now it's a punk rock bowling alley. Go there.
But as far as them having shows like punk shows and metal show, whatever, there. I can't really remember, man, but I want to say maybe, I don't even know, man, but I want to say maybe 96, 95.
Okay.
I'm kind of the wrong guy to ask about that, but yeah, man, they put on a lot of good shows there, and it was a lot of good times, man. Cold as Life used to sell that place out, man, and at the top there in a Magic Stick.
Yeah, you probably fit 500 fucking people in there.
Man, there was some good times there, some good shows, man. They packed upstairs. Cold as Life, everybody going nuts for Cold as Life. It was great. You know, good times,
Yeah.
good memories, man. You know.
Yeah, because fucking, and was it just like the scene then was just so fucking huge, or was
It was
Cold as
big.
Life just like reaching more than just a hardcore scene, like
Both.
in the local area? Okay.
Yeah, they were doing really well, man. You know, 97, 99, they were doing really, really good. More and more kids, you know, different genres were coming in, you know, metalheads and whatever, I think. It was good, man. It kind of reminded me of like the old days because when I first started going to shows at Blondie's and stuff like that, it you know, it wasn't really separated as far as hardcore and metal and punk and whatever. It was all kind of together, you know. You go to a show at Blondie's back in the late 80s or whatever, you know, I can tell you it was everything to like you'd walk in there and see a bunch of, you know, metalheads and mohawks and, you know, baldies and suit and tie dudes and whatever, and the gig was like a metal band, a punk band, and you know, and everybody got along and it was all cool. You know, there was no, I mean, there'd be issues, there'd be fights, but
Yeah, of course.
it wasn't, you know, crazy. It wasn't like, you know, all of you guys have to leave because you don't fit the bill of this show or whatever. It wasn't like that, man. It was a lot, you know, the scene was different, man, back then, you know, in the 80s,
Yeah.
in the late 80s and whatever. And even before that, it was probably even, you know,
Yeah.
that first generation, that first wave of hardcore, which I didn't experience, you know, because I'm younger, but it must have been super cool, man, because, you know, everything was so fresh and still fresh even in the late 80s like that, you know, but like now, you know, it's so different. It's not, you know, it's not fresh anymore. You got a lot of bands that are, you know, radio friendly and whatever, and they're calling them hardcore and whatever. So it's kind of like desensitized the whole movement. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Especially when you were around then. Like now, you're like, this is the same old fucking shit. You know. But then when it starts, I guess, little like progress within the sound of the music.
But back in the day it was cool because everything was fresh and new and whatever, or not so old yet, actually.
Okay.
I should say.
There you go. That's the way to put it. Yeah. So when it was all fun and unity, everyone's having a good time and all that shit. How do you think, when and how do you think it transitioned from being like a punk and everyone's here for the fucking right reasons into, it's like a separated room at one point, you know, when everyone fucking hated each other and you couldn't go to a show without fighting straight edge kids or whatever the fuck the deal was. Because I heard.
Well, you know, I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, I mean, everybody, you know, when you're young, you know what I'm saying, and you're out of control and
ego, like you said
ego
earlier,
problems and
ego,
stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Kick everyone's ass because I fucking can. Stupid shit.
Stupid shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you get older and you realize that that's just a big waste of time and pointless, and you know, and it's better to you know, make friends than enemies and all that stuff. But, you know, like me, I don't harbor any ill will towards anyone. I got no, you know, I don't hold any grudges on anybody or anything like that. Everything that I did in the past, you know what I'm saying? It was just out of stupidity and just young anger and whatever. And a lot of the music is fuel to that, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, you gotta be careful on the music, you know, because sometimes the music, right, it can and you know, lift you up or bring you down or make you more angry or whatever. Obviously music has an emotional attachment to you and whatever, and you know, don't let it get the best of you, you know what I'm saying, and make decisions for you on you know, quick decisions and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people have done crazy things to music. You know, they hear a song and then they do something crazy.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
you know
I mean,
so.
you know, you can listen to any hating song and fucking go out and stab somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said, they can do crazy things to you.
I mean, I was trying to transition into more positive, like if, you know.
You listen to Clockwork for sure.
It was a little bit, you know.
You're growing, though.
Yeah.
We're growing.
Musically, I guess.
Yeah. No, yeah, like I'm saying though, like I'll listen to the music, like especially, like Unify Hate and all that shit. Like
Well, I was an angry son of a bitch, man.
yeah,
During that time, and a lot of that stuff too. I mean, the whole thing with Hate Inc. was really the concept of my cousin Daryl. It was all of his idea, really. He said that we should start the band, call it Hate Inc. And he was supposed to play bass and whatever. And he was an angry fucker, man. And he'd been to prison a long time and all that stuff, in and out of prison. And Hate Inc. was his thing. It started out as like his kind of skateboarding thing. People were writing skate, SK8.
Yeah.
People were spray painting that and tagging it. So he was H8, Inc. Hate Inc. Well, he was doing tattoos too. So, tattoos, Hate Inc.
Of course.
So he came up with that, and then he wanted to start the band, and he ended up going to prison, and it didn't happen, but.
So this was mid-90s or so?
Yeah,
I started with 97
95,
or something?
95, yeah.
Okay.
And then really Jeff G is the one that really got it going. He said, because Daryl was locked up, and he said, let's do Hate Inc., man. So that's how it started, really, and a lot of anger and hate and whatever you want to call it with the, just life, really, all the life's struggles and whatever with Cold as Life. So it's all tied in together like that with the two bands. And but really Jeff, man, got it going, and we were kind of on Cold as Life's schedule. So whenever they would practice, we would practice or whatever.
Okay.
We never really practiced outside of a Cold as Life practice until way later. But in the beginning of Hate Inc., that's why it took kind of so long for us to kind of, get heard or off the ground or whatever you want to call it, is because, it was always on Cold as Life's time. You know what I'm saying? Because Cold as Life was the band.
Right.
I mean, it was
Roy,
Jeff, Roy, and Big Dog, even a little bit of Johnny Hate sometimes, whenever he would do it. But so really, it was, and I was singing. So really, it was just me waiting on them.
Just get done with their practice so you can jump in.
Or whatever. Yeah, stuff like that. So, and it worked out good. It was what it was.
Yeah.
But that's why it kind of took a while. It wasn't until Cold as Life broke up in 2001 or whatever it was that, we were doing more Hate Inc. Or 2000, we were doing more Hate Inc. stuff, and that's why I wasn't able to get like that Fraternal record out until 2001. It was recorded and finished in 2001. I don't think I released it till the next year, but yeah, it it was everybody's involvement there that kind of slowed the process in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
were you guys doing a bunch of shows before you even released that?
No,
Fraternal,
man, we hardly did any shows, man. We only did a handful of gigs, man. I mean, really, the one on YouTube that we did, it was like we were kind of like special guest, basically, to the Cold as Life show at the Magic Stick.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. It's 1999, and that really was probably our the fourth or fifth show we ever did.
No shit.
Yeah, the first one we did was in 97 with Dogs of War. I think that was at the UAD Coffee House or something, or maybe Pharaoh next to Token.
Okay, yeah.
That was the first show we ever did. That was 97. So that goes to show you, from 97 and 99,
not much going on.
We only did a handful of shows, man.
Damn.
Because really, like I said, Cold as Life was the band.
Yeah.
So, they were touring, they were doing whatever. So, a lot of times there wasn't a lot of time because they were doing really well. And
very popular, yeah.
And they didn't have a lot of time to, to mess with another band or whatever. So, So we did it when it was when everybody was able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they broke up, that's when things started kind of taking off more.
Okay. And I hear this right. And your cousin wrote a lot of the lyrics and shit for the first Hate Inc.
He
wrote some of it anyway.
a couple. There's a couple.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember.
But a lot of inspiration from the band is Daryl. It all comes from Daryl, man. The imagery, the whole thing, man. A lot of the lyrics I wrote were they were more about him. It was more about his from his viewpoint.
Okay.
Or whatever, from me looking, at like his life or whatever, and then speaking on his behalf, if you will, in a way. I mean, a lot of it was me too, my personal stuff too, but.
So was he going to, obviously both in the same scene, were you going to shows before him, or was he already in the shit, or were you guys just tight as fuck and end up going together when you first started going to shows?
No, he's 10 years older than me.
Oh, no shit.
So he was part of the first wave of hardcore. He was going to NA shows back in the early 80s and doing all that,
So your aunt that you mentioned, was that his mom? Or was it
No,
a
no,
different
no.
aunt? Okay, I thought it would make sense that your aunt was listening to NA and shit, so I don't know if he was influenced by
No,
her.
The aunt I was talking about, that was my mom's sister, but
Okay.
no, he was in the scene, when it started out. He was in the early part of the Detroit scene and all that stuff, but he was gone a lot, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up going to prison and stuff like that. So I didn't spend a lot of time with him when I was young. When I was younger, it wasn't until I got in my early 20s and we started hanging out more and stuff like that.
Damn. Did you always know, like, as a teenager and shit, he was always up to no good and out of prison and shit? Were you close to him? Because obviously you said he was a big part of the band. He had fucking Detroit hardcore tattoos, he tattoo artist, so he was well known around here. So like,
no, it was more like we didn't realize that we were even related until I got until I was like 19 or whatever, when we actually met up and was like, yeah, we have mutual family members, you know what I'm saying? And we were actually related by blood and by marriage, which was crazy.
Okay.
But come to find out that, that we were related, but I didn't really know him before that, man. I ran into him at a show or whatever, and we got to talking and realized that we have mutual, family members or whatever. And
was it by the last name?
What's that?
That was just by the last name?
Yeah.
Was he so let me ask, so did he always have the Maniac name before you realized he had the same last name as you, just add the I,
Yeah. Yeah, that was his moniker, that was like his nickname or whatever, Daryl Maniac.
That's so fucking crazy, man. Like,
rest in peace, Daryl Maniac.
Yeah, rest in peace. Daryl fucking Maniac. What a maniac, huh?
He was.
Yeah.
I miss him, man.
Yeah, dude, no shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure once you guys realized, your family, that bond just became even fucking stronger, knowing who he was, and
it was crazy. Meeting up like that and going, wow, we have cousins and aunts and uncles and this and that, and I didn't even really know him beforehand, so
okay,
it was cool, man.
Yeah. Fuck. It's crazy to look back and think, though, that all the experiences and shit that you had, just because of hardcore, meeting different people and fucking starting a band, and you even took Hate Inc. You went over to fucking Europe early on in Hate Inc. Right? Weren't you guys over there early 2000s? You went over there, did like Ypres or something?
Yeah, it was 2007. I mean,
it's a little later.
It definitely wasn't early Hate Inc. But
for some reason I thought it was. Well, I guess it's just the fucking YouTube video looks like shit, so you think it's way before,
But yeah, shout out to Roy and those guys for bringing us over, man. Because really it was a Cold as Life tour, and they just brought us with them,
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool, man. You guys were able to fucking get on in front of however many fucking people go to Yperfest or Yperfest, however the fuck you say it.
And Gook, Mike the Gook, he put us on it. So
big ass crowd.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Europe was awesome, man. It was a good time.
Yeah. So I seen a video. Fuck, did you go over there with Cold as Life before Hate Inc. or no? Or did you go over there?
No, it was just that one time.
Oh, okay, because there's a video. It's a picture. Is it you that's fucking tagging on the Berlin Wall? Somebody's
Yes.
writing "Cold as Life" or fucking TBD or something.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
That's so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it was cool, man, to see that, man. It was pretty sweet.
Well, obviously, so much history there, you know, with the fucking whatever Soviet Union or Iron Curtain, whatever the fuck it was, and so that was early 2000s. The Berlin Wall was tore down. Long before that, is there just fucking remains in a certain spot of Germany?
Yeah, it was like broken up and there was parts, here, parts there, whatever.
Wow. There's this
a lot of cool artwork on it, man. A lot of graffiti writers and artists and stuff.
Las Vegas, down on in downtown Las Vegas on Fremont Street, there's this hotel. I don't know which hotel it is, but you go into the men's bathroom and you piss in the urinals, but behind the urinals is an actual part of the Berlin Wall, like the opposite side, like the shitty side. So you're taking a piss on the Berlin Wall is what it's supposed to look like. You're standing there. It's, stupid, I guess, but
I don't know.
You never been to Vegas?
No, I have never been to Vegas.
It's fucking wild there. It's a good time. Lots to do.
I heard it's pretty expensive.
It is. You gotta fucking spend money to, fucking live decent there if you're gonna go there on vacation. Back to hardcore. Who gives a fuck about Las Vegas right now?
All right.
I'm trying to get you to smile or laugh. You're like just a robot.
Sorry, bro.
Don't be sorry. This is for you if you want another beer.
Thanks, man.
There's fucking Miller's in here if you want one of those. If you don't like that fucking giggling shit.
You got any crack?
Any crack?
No.
Just mushrooms.
No, I can't do that, man.
You
flip out.
You put a hole in the wall. I don't want to see that. Let's fucking set this one over here. Yeah, we Reverend. Any hard drugs or anything?
No, never.
No, just fucking.
That's the thing, man. So many of my friends, man, people I know or whatever, doing that and things not ending up good for them, kind of kept me away. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had my battles with alcohol,
Yeah.
Especially after Daryl died and whatever, I hit the bottle pretty hard.
Yeah.
But you gotta overcome that stuff, man, because it'll bring you down. I mean, everything in moderation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Have a good time and be chill, but keep it chill, because you overdo it and you get crazy, and the next thing you know, man, your life's in shambles. You know what I'm saying? Or it's over. So and I've known too many people, man. Crack, heroin, coke, all that shit, man, brings them down, and there's no recovering, man.
It fucking does definitely bring people down. Just over the years myself, so many people fucking overdosed, died, fucking murdered, shot, whatever.
Yeah.
Crash and burn,
It's tough, man.
It is tough, and you think, and it's hard because the people fucking don't see what happens when you can have a bunch of mutual friends and they're fucking shooting heroin together. One dies, and then they still go back and do heroin again. It's fucking frustrating.
It is. It's frustrating, man. Especially when it's right before your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And you try to help. I've tried so hard, man, to help friends, to help people overcome that stuff, and it's all up to the individual, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit there until you're blue in the face and tell somebody that crack kills or whatever, and it doesn't matter, man. They'll sit there and be like, yeah, I know, bro, but the next thing you know, they'll turn around and do whatever they're gonna do, man. So you can say whatever you want to anybody about anything, really, but it's always up to the individual, man. And the thing is look at your surroundings, look at the people you love, you know what I'm saying, and look what's become of everybody and whatever, and come up with a decision. Do you want to crash and burn, or do you want to overcome and persevere and keep going? You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah, I fucking know what you're saying. I've had my own problems back. Fucking dude, the coke was my shit back in the day. I just get so much fucking coke, man. I used to take money from whoever the fuck had money, it didn't matter.
It's funny, I never thought you would have done that stuff. You don't seem like the personality.
No, dude, this the last time, I can tell you the exact it'll be fucking goddamn 14 years tomorrow. Is the last time I did coke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's not like I made a decision to stop. It just happened to be the last time. But I did for sure have a problem before that. Like I thought, like I stopped and then I started doing it again, like casually, because I thought it was cool. Like, yeah, I can handle this, you know. But it was my 21st birthday. Is the last time I fucking did it, and I'll be 35 tomorrow. This shit's fucking.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's but it's so stupid because you tell people until you're blue in the face, like you said, like that's probably not great for you. So I'm not going to judge you, but you probably shouldn't do that because it's not good. And like I heard a quote one time, and it's like you can tell your future by who you're hanging around. You know, it's like and look at your friends and you see your future. You know, it's like It's like some people are sitting around fucking isolating themselves with other fucking drug addicts and they can't get their shit together even though they probably want to. You know, it's fucking stupid. That shit pisses me off because I see her smoke weed and drink like I got it all together, but you know I don't. But there's some shit that's worse that you cannot do to make your life a little better.
Yeah, but I mean, is it ruining your life? I mean,
No.
you got a nice house, man. You got a family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're working. You know what I'm saying? You know, is smoking some weed and having some beers ruining your life?
Not at all. It's,
You know, so
you know you can
just as long as, or your health. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Are
Right,
you in the
right.
hospital, the emergency room,
no
or whatever? For you know, every once a month in the emergency room because you're doing that? No, you know, you're doing all right, man. I mean, like I said, everything in moderation. If you can have a few beers and keep it cool and smoke a couple of blunts, then you're all good.
Yeah,
You know, but if you're, I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean, when it comes to the drug thing, though, the heavy drugs, it depends, man. I mean, you know, again, you could be functional and do the same thing. You know, you could bump it up and have some coke and whatever
Sure,
on the
part of-
weekends, and
yeah.
and everything will be cool. But I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of a tough call there with the hard drugs, man. Because
It is.
there's a thin line of like taking it too far. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. There's a lot of people.
And then getting some bad shit. What if you snorted up some bad shit and
Fentanyl.
you didn't
that's
wake
the
up
thing,
the next
killing
day? You
people.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's fucked up. Well, it's weird because there's this fucking doctor. I've heard him on like other podcasts and shit. His name Dr. Carl Hart, and he does heroin. Excuse me. He does like I don't know how much he does, but casually, fucking like snorts.
he's a doctor
heroin.
that does heroin.
I said that sounds so crazy. I know,
Wow.
but he says every now and again he'll do a little fucking bump of heroin, and he doesn't shoot it up. He said it helps him either relax or able to like write, because he writes like journals and shit like that too. And he said, you know, it expands.
I mean, I don't know. I've heard that too, where people, you know, they say they do a little bit of mushrooms
Yeah.
and it helps them think and be cool and whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, if it works, I guess.
Well,
But
yeah.
like I said, man, there's a thin line. What if
Mhm.
you take some shit and you know you go to fucking Willy Wonka land and you know you don't come back?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I know there hasn't been enough fucking studies and shit because it's all, you know, illegal, especially on the mushroom topic. Like now in some states, you know, they're doing research. A lot of people are trying mushrooms, like microdosing, to deal with depression and anxiety, and even like the terminally ill people. Somehow it does something to their brain to where they're able to actually process and deal with the concept that they're dying, rather than being full of anxiety and crying every day because they know they're dying. You know, it's fucking crazy.
I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, some people are fucking guinea pigs. How about that? You
There's
know,
a lot of those out there.
Yeah, I want to ask you about what do I got? This might be a little be an interesting question. Is there anything?
Go ahead, shoot.
Is there anything that you would have done different or changed about yourself back in the day? Is there any regrets or anything you would have done different from, you know, like being a child until now? Or are you happy with that?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying. Yes, I'm
So
saying.
this is like not about the band?
No,
You're just
no.
saying personally?
Yeah, you want to move on?
Oh no, I'm
No,
just,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
trying
sure.
to understand what you're saying.
Or I mean, within the band or in the hardcore scene, is there any decisions you would have made to gone got further with the band or started any other bands or
Well, I don't know. I mean, number one, I mean,
played an instrument? I know you do guitar, right? You play guitar?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I wrote all the music. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying.
Yeah. Play guitar. But yeah, as far as that goes, you know, I don't know. I wish I would have paid closer attention to what some of my friends were telling me about, you know, not being a dumbass or whatever.
Sure.
You know, and snapping out of my crazy streak or whatever. But I don't know, man. I you know, I think everybody's timing is different to when they realize shit and come to, you know, have that moment of clarity of, you know, like what life's about, what's important, what you need to do, and things like that, you know. For me, it was, you know, when my cousin Daryl died, man, that's when I, you know, I kind of fell off a cliff there for a minute, but then I snapped out of it and said, man, something's got to change. I got to, you know, I got to do better. I got to be better. I got to help more people. You know, I got to be, you know, better all the way around and cut the bullshit. So that's what that's what I tried to do. And it's definitely been better than when I was younger, as opposed to when I was younger, like we were talking about being young and going to shows and getting crazy. You know, all you want to do is get crazy, and you don't want anybody to tell you any different. You just want to party and have fun and go to shows and get crazy, and you know, and that's all good, you know, within reason, but only up until a certain extent. You know, there comes a time where it's like, you know, you got to calm the fuck down, and you know, and it took me a long time to realize that, man, but. You know, I started hitting church up and, you know, kind of like letting God hold the wheel. And life's definitely been better, man. So all you kids out there, turn to Jesus.
Turn to Jesus. Heard from Beast himself.
Because Jesus is what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously you know, the reason why I kind of asked that question, like, you know, whether it's just fucking hearsay or not, but you know, you always had a reputation to be kind of a crazy person, you know, at shows. So I was always like, yeah, the fucking boogeyman sitting right next to me. But yeah, what's good to hear though that you said, you know, everybody has a time where they finally realize, and if they understand that something's got to change, and they do. And whether
the bummer about that is that when you got
people,
people, good friends or parents, or you know, people that love you,
yeah,
that are telling you, dude, you know, this is what's up. Like you gotta, you know, get it together or whatever. And, you know, and you're like, you know, and you're not listening. That's the problem, you know?
Yeah.
The problem is when the day comes that you have ears to hear and you listen to what, you know, people are telling you, you know what I'm saying? You know, for me, it took a long time.
Yeah.
But,
and a tragedy as well to realize it, you know, with your cousin. So, you know, eventually it all came together for you, and that's,
you know, it's a shame because there's a lot of people out there that never listen ever, and they're like 50, 60 years old right now, 70 years old right now, still doing the exact same shit that they were doing when they were 20.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's all bad news. And somehow they've made it through.
Somehow you got
to this age or whatever, and they're still doing it. And you know, God bless them. But it's like, you know, a lot of people they never figure it out. They never learn. They never want to figure it out. Uh-huh. And then there's other people, like I know kids that come to that you know, realization or whatever real young. Mm-hmm. You know, at like 20. And they're like, man, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to school. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Fuck the dumb shit. You know, I don't mess with drugs and blah, 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 all that shit. And they're, you know, focused.
And got it together.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you know, good people and whatever. But it's all about treating others good, man, and doing the right thing, man. So
yeah, the individual.
If you're good like that, everything will pan out.
Oh, fuck. You know? Yeah, are you, so, You've been to a few shows in the past fucking year or so since the pandemic has been up. Are you happy to see that Detroit is somewhat of a functioning scene, or do you wish it could be fucking better, or what would you hope for the future of Detroit hardcore if you had any input? Or
Well, here's the deal. I want to say thanks for having me here. This is cool. The main reason why I wanted to do this, like I said, is because, you know, me and Jeff were talking about doing one with another dude, and I never heard from that dude. So whatever.
He'll hear this, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then there was another one, that Blast Furnace one. He really wanted to do one with us, but I don't know what happened to him. He doesn't do it no more, so I don't know what's up with that. But you were asking me a few times, so I wanted to come on and do this to let the kids out there know about, you know, I'm going to be releasing some merch. I want to put out the other 2 albums on the vinyl, you know, do vinyl records, and I also have some Life of Pain variants that I want to get rid of, and I wanted to get the word out like that. And I appreciate what you do for, you know, music and Detroit and whatever with your podcast. And, you know, I see you on the Instagram and whatever, you're promoting shows and doing all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's awesome, man, because, you know, not a lot of that was happening. You know, it was kind of like a roller coaster of that happening between peoples. You know, over the years, there wasn't anything real consistent. There might have been a few people that grabbed the wheel and was like really trying to make a difference. You know, like my brother Jay Outcast. Shout out to Outcast. He in Final Assault, he did a lot for the scene. You know, he was promoting shows, booking shows. You know, he was writing for zines and doing all types of stuff. So, you know, if somebody does something for the scene or whatever, that's great. You know, as far as me, I haven't been hanging out a lot. I don't really know what's going on or whatever. But a little bit here and there. And what I have seen of it's awesome. I mean, you know, like what I've been seeing with you know, Never Ending Game is awesome, man. It's
wild.
You know, it seems like they got a good following and you know, and stuff like that.
D Block too out there. I don't know if you've checked them out yet, but they're fucking good.
I mean, I seen them that the last time I seen Never Ending Game, and they were all right too, man.
Hell yeah.
But you know, more bands need to you know, play more shows and get out there and get with other bands, man, and you know, bands that you wouldn't typically play with or whatever, and play shows together, man.
Yeah, there's definitely a separation between the say subgenres of hardcore.
And that's what I was trying to tell you earlier is, like, you know, when I was young going to shows, it was all different types of bands playing one show together.
Yeah.
It wasn't just these 2 same bands that always play together. Mm-hmm. It was, you know, a handful of bands that never played together playing together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was really mixed up. And that was awesome, man, because you had a diverse crowd and it was cool. It made for a better show, man. It brought more people and all of that, man. But another good band out there, man, is Blue Collar Stompers, man. Shout out to my brother Will. I mean, you guys got to go out and see them, man. They're a really good hardcore punk OA band, man. And you know, people need to, you know, let everybody know about bands and
take notes
and take exactly about, you know, who's good, who's playing, who's whatever, and make it happen and work together and make that shit happen, you know, because, you know, from what I seen that's going on right now, it's pretty cool, because I know there was a drop off for a while where there wasn't really anything happening.
Not much at all for a little bit.
For a little while, and you know, and that's a bummer, but it seems like it's kind of coming back a little bit, and that's cool. And you know, I probably wouldn't even be sitting here, man, if it wasn't for my bro Craig Holloway, who hit me up and said, "Hey, I got these records here, man, that I didn't know about or whatever." So he sent me the records, man, and I got rid of them pretty quickly, and you know, I got a handful of those left that I'm going to do a variant with, and it fired me up to continue trying to put out, because, you know, a while ago I really wanted to put out, you know, the other 2 records, Clockwork and Fraternal, on vinyl, But I kind of just gave up, because I just, for 15 years or whatever it was that I had the band going, I did pretty much everything. I
No
booked the
shit.
shows, I did the merch, I wrote the songs. You know what I'm saying? Like I did everything.
All
I did all the
DIY.
correspondence. I did all the distro. I mean, and it's hard work, man. It's hard work out there doing that kind of thing. So,
And it's all like thankless too. It's not like you're getting like anything out of it except like a good time. It's not.
I never
made
made no money, man. I never made no money from the band.
No,
I mean,
it's
I
all
would
out
make
of
money
your
back.
time and
but-
love of hardcore and fucking punk and doing what you like to do, man. It's like it's like you're putting more money into it than you're fucking getting out of it, and that's not what it's about. So, I mean, everybody, I'm sure, is on the same page with that for the most part.
Yeah, I never made no money with the band, man, and I always tried to sell my shit cheap. Whenever we did shows or whatever, it was always like a $10 shirt, a $10 CD or whatever like that, at the most. And
if you look like
lot
a
of
pussy,
times it
he'd
was
tell you
cheap.
can't fucking buy one.
Right. But I always tried to sell the stuff to you. A lot of the stuff I gave away. You know what I mean? Because kids would come up, man, I really want balls. I got this, or just take it. You know what I'm saying? Just to get it out there.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool, man. If you reissued some of the shit and then did a couple merch runs, I'm sure fucking people would eat that shit up and just
I'm
to have a
planning
piece
on
of the band, because with like, different generations of people,
Yeah.
are hopefully finding out about you guys and hearing the songs, and who doesn't want a fucking Detroit hardcore shirt? Who the
Right.
fuck doesn't? Like,
Well, that's the thing. When I got these Life of Pain vinyls that I didn't know were still around, they went pretty quick, man, and I was pretty surprised about that. So, yeah, man, and a lot of people I've got a lot of feedback from people about the Clockwork Misery record and the Fraternal record. So, but even personally, I want them on vinyl, to have them on vinyl. I think it'd be cool to do that too. So,
And do you have a favorite album out of the three you guys did? Is there anyone that you are more proud of, whether quality or sonically, music-wise, or?
Well, the first demo that we did in 97, 98 holds a lot for me, because it was, finally the Hate Inc. band kind of coming to fruition, that me and Daryl kind of, talked about for the longest time. And to do it with my boys, Jeff and Roy and Big Dog and those guys, man, it meant a lot, so the demo was cool. I like that a lot, man. It's cool to listen to it sometimes and kind of reminisce or whatever, so, but yeah, I like Fraternal a lot, just because it's the first shit. The other songs on Fraternal, that was really just me and Roy. Shout out to Roy. That was really just me and him with that whole record, really.
You did all the guitar and shit. You recorded all that stuff.
Yep, I did the guitars. He did the drums, and then we recorded that at Mike Hasty's place, the Cloud City.
Yeah, I remember that.
And my original bass player, Psycho Mike Richards, love you, brother, but he wasn't around for whatever reason, and a little bit of me not wanting him there either, because he wasn't the greatest bass player. No disrespect, brother, but plus he didn't know the new jams either. So
Yeah.
So luckily, Mike Hasty and his wizardry stepped up. He just so happened to have a bass guitar in his studio, and he laid down the track. So good looking out, Mike Hasty.
Shout out to Mike Hasty down in Florida, living it up now. He's also in Walls of Jericho, if nobody fucking knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with A Life of Pain, did Jeff wrote that shit, or did you write that too, and Jeff just played?
I wrote all the music for Hate Inc.
Oh, okay, you're right here.
Except for
You just play it.
Jeff wrote On the Yard.
Oh no shit. Yeah, I think I knew that because of that other podcast. But yeah.
And The only other one I think is "We Hate the World."
Yeah,
That one, Enzo wrote that. Enzo and Jake wrote that one.
that's a good jam. Yeah,
But all that other jams, out of all 3 records, I wrote all that.
I just sat there all by
All by myself.
That's crazy, man. All by yourself. Well, you
All
put
by
something
myself.
fucking wild together, man. Because I tell you, anybody who hears hating, they're like, oh yeah, fucking Detroit hardcore. It's like it's a scary music made by scary people. That's the way I used to put it. As like back in the day. That's
cool.
that's an understatement. You fucking know you're scary. What are you talking about? A spider on your head. What?
You got a skull on your arm.
True.
What the hell's up with that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, what is your fascination with fucking spiders? You like spiders? You said you
Yeah.
had a spider. What kind of spider you got? A big old tarantula?
Not at the moment. I've had them though.
Oh man, they're scary. Like, have you always just been into tarantulas, or is there other animals?
No, I just I just like them, man. You know.
Do you like them crawling on you and shit?
Not particularly. I'm not like, wow, I need this spider to crawl on me, but I
no.
mean, if I had a tarantula, I would let it. You know.
That's fucking.
Why not?
No, why not? Because it can fucking bite you, and they're just
No, not really,
scary
man.
looking, man.
I mean, I think there's really only a couple of species that are aggressive to the extent that they want to bite you. But other than that, they don't bite.
You'd be kind of like an asshole to get it to bite you.
Well, yeah, you would have to really. The same thing with a dog, man.
Okay,
you start punching a dog or something, he's gonna try to bite you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good way to put it. They're just a lot scarier looking than a dog. How about that? Yo, cause
It depends on how you look at it. It's all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That's it. Well, I mean, that's one way to put it. But I've always been like fucking spiders scare the fuck out of me. I had a snake. I had a fucking red-tailed boa, like a 4.5 foot long one for a while.
Well, that's scary. What the fuck's up with that, dude?
I know. Dude, I was so afraid. Like, it's because my friend had to get rid of it. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Like, I'm cool with
like,
the
how
fucking
could you
snake.
hold a snake?
I was so
That's
terrified.
ridiculous.
I was so fucking scared. Every time
okay.
I'd have to feed it, I'd have to, because you got to put it in a different cage to feed it so it doesn't, like, associate its house with its food. You have to separate it. And so we'd put it in this, like, a cardboard box. You got to fucking throw a rat in there, let it fucking kill it. But it was so scary because we had to put, like, a towel, like, on its head and fucking grab it and bring it over to the box. And it was fucking terrifying every time because I had, like, a 2-year-old at the time. My whole family was like, get that fucking thing out of your house before it eats your son.
Funny story. I had a ball python, and I gave him to a buddy of mine. And this dude, he lived in the basement of his mom's place. And it got out of the cage and disappeared, right? So, like, literally a month went by. A month. And he didn't know what happened to the snake. It was just disappeared. And a month went by, and he was, like, doing laundry or something. And he looked over towards the floor, and the damn snake... his head was like poking out of the drywall of the wall. So he's coming looking for food or whatever. He was living in the walls for that month or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He came out, man, skinny like a toothpick, But yeah, he got out. He was in the walls of the basement for a while. Fuck. And he got him. He started feeding him again and got him fat. And,
yeah.
So yeah, it was funny.
I had 3 turtles over there in that fucking tank, and one time one of them got out somehow. Well, I keep the water high.
Are they snapping turtles?
No, the little baby red
snapping at you.
But
the turtles are scary. I don't want nothing to do with a turtle. What are you doing? Are you crazy? You got turtles here?
I'm a fucking maniac.
Forget about it.
What do you think? No, one time it crawled out and it was gone. We didn't notice, and we feed them a few times a week, but it was gone. I went back, where the fuck is the 3rd turtle at? And we're like, it's just gone. We looked all over the place. And like 3 weeks later, I went in my laundry room to do fucking kicked it across the floor because it was on the ground. I didn't see it. I just fucking kicked it. It scared the shit out of me. But it was alive and just fucking chilling. I'm sure it was eating like fucking centipedes and shit or something. But it was weird just to see a turtle 3 weeks later on your floor, when you thought it fucking died in a corner somewhere. But that was
it's very weird.
Very strange beast. But I don't know, man. We fucking covered quite a bit in a good hour and a half here now. So like you said, you're coming on here because you're going to be hopefully eventually doing some vinyl. and some
Yep.
merch, hopefully,
Yep.
eventually. You know, in time, you gotta be patient with this shit right now, because
Yeah.
fucking orders are backed up for everybody. And
I want to release Clockwork Misery on vinyl and Fraternal Order of Felons on vinyl. And I'm going to be doing a couple of different shirts. You know, get out there for the kids.
Yeah, is it gonna
You know?
be like the same shirts, or is it gonna be some fucking new ideas?
Pretty much the same. Pretty much, you know,
Yeah,
pretty much the same.
good.
Artwork.
What do you want to keep it? Didn't your cousin do a lot of the artwork as well, or almost all of it, or what?
Yeah, he did. He did most of it.
Well,
He
in
did
memory
most
of him, you want to fucking just keep it OG, right?
Yeah, keep it OG. Why not?
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a fucking good idea. It's like the Hate Ink skull. You know, it's fucking recognizable anywhere. You know, and
Yeah.
how many people in fucking hardcore have the fucking skull tattooed on them? A lot. With all the shit you posted over the past few months.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you got to keep that shit going.
Yeah. So I think we covered it all. I don't think I have any more questions for you, and I appreciate you taking the time.
For sure, man. Thanks a lot, dude.
Yeah, I mean it's cool that over the years you can just come back and talk about it, and anybody who ever gave a fuck or will give a fuck will hopefully find this conversation interesting, because
Yeah.
Hey Inc. was an interesting band, and the whole CTYC, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
fucking legends, man. It's fucking hardcore legends. Everybody knows about CTYC. Were you was that already started before you came around, or was it all
Yes.
one collective idea? So you just happened to and show up, it was already a thing, CTYC?
Yeah, yeah. They already had it going. I just kind of like, you know, befriended all of them and was just kind of, you know,
Cool.
in the crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I hear all this.
I was invited to the party.
You're invited to the fucking
I was
party.
invited to the party.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is there anything you wanna say? Give any shout outs or any words of wisdom to the young kids who may hear this?
Yeah, I want to say, you know, again about the vinyl records, Fraternal and Clockwork. I'm looking to put those out. I'm going to do that either on my own, or if someone approaches me that wants to help me do it, is welcomed. And I'm going to be putting out some shirts and some merch too. Also, help out Roger Moret with medical expenses or whatever for what he's going through. Roger is a brother. I love him to death, and he's been going through a lot, man. So you kids out there, if you can help donate to you know, his, you know, for his benefit, really, for his medical bills and stuff, that would be amazing.
He's been fighting cancer a long fucking time.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And you know, other than that, man, just stay up, be safe, stay strong. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the time.
Go to church, motherfuckers.
Go to church
That's it. All right, let me end this shit. I gotta piss like a motherfucker. How about that?
and have a beer.
Yeah, boy.